Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, you all. It's good to be here. I'm so excited tonight. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Wow, 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 wow. This feels so beautiful. So, happy new week. Welcome to this week episode of the Mastering Business Strategies. And we are live. We are live. So I want you to tune in real quick. Tune in real quick. Let me know where you're watching from. Tonight is going to be amazing. I'm so excited tonight. Like I'm super excited. I'm super excited tonight, and I trust we are really going to have something amazing. So you just let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop on the comment section. Where are you watching from? I want to quickly share this on my timeline so that people can tune in immediately. So let people tune in. Let people tune in. And you're just joining me. I want you to share this, share to your friends, share to your timeline. Let people tune in. Let people join us because tonight is, loads of value here, loads of value here, loads of value here. So I'm just sharing. I'm just sharing. So you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching from and let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. So, real quick, let me know where you're watching from. Tonight, I have an amazing guest who will be joining me shortly. Who will be joining me shortly, and you can't wait to have what we are sharing tonight. You can't wait to enjoy it. 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 Tonight is going to be full of value, full of value, full of value. And I know someone is going to be blessed. Someone is going to be blessed. So join me real quick. Let me know where you're watching from. Whoa, it's a beautiful week. And I know you all are excited. You all are excited. You all are excited. So, and same here, myself. I'm pretty much excited today. During the day, I had a quite busy day because I was doing a whole lot of stuff on my computer, and it got me real busy. It got me real busy. So I'm here to get your comments. Uh-oh. Diana Leslie, it's good to have you live. It's good to have you. She's watching on Facebook. She said, US, we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. So wherever you're tuning in from, just drop on the comment section where you're watching from. And this is amazing. I can't wait to do this tonight. I can't wait. Tonight, I have an amazing guest who I'll be bringing in shortly, and she's by name Chioma Juliet. You can't wait to see her. You can't wait to see her. So we are live. We are live. And real quick, I'm going to be bringing her in. Real quick, I'm going to be bringing her in. So. So those of you on Facebook, just drop on the comment section where you're watching from. I want to know exactly where you are tuning in from. So, my name is Michael Kevin. I'm a growth strategist, a business consultant, and I love growth so much. I love growth in business, I love growth in personal life, and this is all I do. I want to see people grow, I want to see people advance. So, real quick, I want us to move on to what we have. So, I'm bringing in the guest for tonight, Chioma Juliet. So, we'll do this real quick. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we are live. We are
Hello,
live.
Kevin.
Yeah, it's good to have you. It's good to have you. Welcome to the Michael Kevin TV, and it's
Thank
really good to have
you.
you.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pleasure to
So
be here.
tonight, yeah. Tonight we'll be talking about effective time management, and I see all the big stuffs you do, and I'm just amazed. And I was like, I would like you to come share on how you do all of this stuff with the short time we have, because I know the greatest concern of everyone out there is the issue of lack of time. I do not have enough time to do ABC. So we want to talk about this as to encourage the people and share light and highlight hints on how one can maximize time and make judicious use of time. So it's good to have you. So real quick, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience.
All right, Kevin. My name is Chioma Juliet. I'm a writer. I write articles, I write stories, I write poems, and I'm also a podcaster. I make podcasts, right? And well, I'm a host of other things, but for the this time being, I will just stick with these two.
I know the thing is you are so many things, but you know at different interval you just have to represent different things. Yeah, that's just the truth. So it's good to
Yeah.
have you here. It's good to have you. I'm really excited about tonight, and I'm happy I'm doing this with you. And I know someone is really going to be inspired. I know lives are going to be transformed. I know people are going to catch light for flight. So real quick, let's jump into what we have tonight. So, we're talking about effective time management tonight, and I want you to give a kind of highlight or explicit definition to what we are talking about tonight.
Okay. Well, time management is in layman's term is the process of organizing your tasks, of dividing your tasks into definite time, right? It's the process of planning what you want to do and the time at which you want to do them, the amount of time you want to allocate to different tasks that you have. That's basically what time management is. And when you do this effectively, when you allocate sufficient amount of time and stick to it, when it gives you results, when you do it in such a way that it gives you good results, that is when you call it effective time management, because it's actually doing what you want it to do, or it's helping you achieve the aim for which you're doing it. That's when it's effective. Now, why is
Wow.
time management important? Time management is important for so many reasons, and mostly because it boosts productivity, right? If you want your productivity to be on the high side, right? Because a lot of people are busy. We are busy human beings, but being busy doesn't uh, translates to being productive. So you find that a lot of
Yes.
people are busy, they are stressed, but what have they achieved with their time? They may not be able to answer to that, right?
Wow.
So what it does for you, what time management does for you, is that it boosts your productivity because you are allocating a definite task to a definite time, right? So
Hmm.
you are going to be more responsible with your time. You're going to actually use your time to do those things that you've allocated to it, right? So it boosts your productivity and it reduces stress. There won't be any work overload for you if you effectively manage your time. So time
Hmm.
management is really, really important. And not just that it reduces stress, it boosts confidence, right? Because I mean, that's how we are wired as human beings. When you achieve a goal, when you achieve a task, you feel happy. Your confidence level is high, you're happy with yourself. So time management gives you more and more of that feeling. You're more confident in yourself, more confident in your abilities. That is what it does for you. So time management is really, really important, especially as regards businesses. For instance, if any area of life that you find yourself in, whether as a business owner, whether as a student, wherever you are, time management is really, really important if you're going to make the most out of your life.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. You said something, and that thing is key to me, and that is, um, it have to be result oriented. For one to manage time effectively, the end goal is to be results oriented, to be productive. So that means
Mm-hmm.
every effective time management should call for producing, being productive. Yeah, because it's okay. A lot of persons can be busy. Anyone may be busy doing stuffs, but what is the outcome of the busyness, the busy schedule of you being so extremely occupied per time? So being occupied call for being productive. That is when you say you've effectively managed your time.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that wonderful explanation from you, and it's really amazing. And another thing I want to drop in real quick here is that time management for me calls for being goal oriented, because it takes the
Yeah.
mindset and willingness to be goal oriented, to want to manage your time effectively. Because those who are not goal oriented, they don't care about how they use their time. They misuse the time doing stuff that doesn't really add value to them, and they are okay with it, because why? They are not goal oriented. So I think this discussion tonight is going to help us achieve this, to let the people out there know, our audience know, that this is what is going to help every individual become goal
So
oriented. Because when you're focused on a particular thing, you know you have deadline to achieve some certain goals, and you are channeling all your energy, effort, and zeal toward making that a reality. And by so
yeah.
doing, you manage your time effectively. You don't do stuff because others are doing it. You're doing stuff because it is directly proportional to where you're going to. So, and that is it. So let's ride on real quick, ma. It's good to have you, and you look so beautiful tonight. So, and I
Thank
know
you.
our audience, you feel free to drop on the comment section what you think. Yeah. And also let us know where you're watching from. It's good to have you, Dana Leslie, watching from the United States. It's good to have you tonight. And every other person watching, drop on the comment section so I can, appreciate you. I need to know where you're watching from so I can appreciate you effectively. So let's ride on, ma.
All right. Now I want to talk about something called the time metrics. I don't know if you can hear
Okay, the
me.
time metrics. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, there's something called the time metrics, and time metrics basically, classifies tasks into four different categories, right? Based on their importance and based on their urgency. So when it comes to the time metrics, the first quadrant is where you classify, or where you put tasks that are important and urgent. The ones that you cannot leave, the ones that are very important and are time sensitive. It could be closing a business deal, it could be something related to health, anything that is important and that is urgent, and that you just have to do it. Just do it quadrant is what this one is, right? Those are the
That's
ones that you put in the very first quadrant, because this quadrant is really about prioritizing your tasks, the most important things first, and then the least important things last. So the first category is for those important and urgent tasks. Now for the second quadrant is where you classify those tasks that are important but they are not urgent. They are
yes.
important but they are not urgent. It could be something about maybe researching, trying to make your business better. It could be learning, it could be investing. They are actually very important, but the urgency is not as much as those in the first category, right? So those ones are the ones that are important, but they are not urgent. And the third quadrant is where you put in tasks that are they are not that important, at least not like the first two, but they are urgent. They are not very important, but they are urgent. Maybe things like replying to certain emails, things like discussing with your colleagues. You can't actually put those ones away. You get, they are
Yes.
not that important, but you can't put them away, right? They are still urgent. And then finally, the final quadrant, the fourth one, this is where you classify those ones that are not important and they are not urgent.
Okay.
Probably those are things, those are desires that you may want to indulge. Probably you want to spend some time on social media, you want to watch just one TikTok video, just this. These are the ones you should avoid with your entire being if you really want to be productive, right? So
Yes.
yes. So now this, in summary, the summary of the four quadrants, the summary of the time metrics is that the things in the first category are things you should do just do it. Like Nike's tagline, right? Just do it. Do it. Like do it now. Those are things you should do. The ones in the second quadrant are the things that you can delay. You will still do them, but you can delay them because they are not that urgent, right?
Yeah.
And then the things in the third quadrant are things you can delegate. They are urgent, but you don't have to be the one doing it. You can actually tell other people. Probably if it's a business, you can delegate and say, oh yeah, do this one, do that one. You don't necessarily have to be there for it to be done. And then the final quadrant are the ones you should not do. Don't indulge yourself. Don't watch that TikTok video. Don't do it because you may never end up with just one video. You may find yourself spending hours there. I mean, it's never just one video, right? So
Yes, yes,
those are the
yes.
important, should I say it's an important way, or it's a very effective way to classify your tasks, to prioritize things, right? So
Yes.
these are things that you calm down and actually check what you have to do for the day, for the time being, whatever, and know where these things belong. And it will really help
Yes.
you to be productive as a person, as a business, you know. So that's about the time metrics.
Okay.
Now,
Wow. This
now,
this is amazing. Before you proceed, this is
yeah,
loads of value in here, and there's loads of value in there, and I really appreciate those words. I really appreciate it. It's beyond what you think. You talked about the time quadrants, which are divided into four strata. That's into four quadrants.
yeah,
And it's ranging from urgent and important, then not urgent, that's the second one, not important, and just that way. So the first one, which you talked about, stuffs that are urgent, highlights on stuffs like crisis, emergency, pressing problem,
yeah,
the things that you just have to put in place. That's the urgent stuffs.
yeah,
Yeah, these are like, last minute preparation, deadline driven projects, projects that have deadline in it, that they are urgent and need to be given urgent attention, as the case may be. Then the second one, I just want to give a kind of highlight on this stuff so that the audience can get it and get it real quick. Oh, it's good to have you live, Chibuzo Izuogu. It's a wonderful mentor, a spiritual leader, and I'm so grateful to have you here. So thanks for tuning in, and it's good to have your comments. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me tonight. So the second quadrant, I'm just giving a kind of highlight preview on what you said. The second quadrant talks about the things that are not urgent when with regards time management. So we talk about preparation planning, prevention, value clarification, capability improvement, relationship building through recreation or relaxation. These things, they are not
yeah,
that urgent compared to the first quadrant. Then the
yeah,
third one are things that are not important. That's the third one now. So you talk about interruption, some callers, some meetings. Not all meetings are important. You may be invited to series of occasions, events. You need to choose, prioritize the ones that are of importance to you.
yeah, sure.
Then stuff like, many pressing matters, popular
Oh,
activities. People want to do the things that are popular.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, going for shows and stuff that doesn't add to you. And that is the time you should be doing something else more relevant to your destiny, that should make you more productive. But
Yeah,
because you feel this is something you just need to do for fun, then you just want to, slide it in, or it doesn't make sense because it is not important at the time. When we talk about time management, it is not important. Then the fourth one, we'll talk about things like busy work, some course, malls, yeah, activities as well, time wasters, stuff that doesn't really demand your present at the time. Most times things come around that it is possible you just keep them. This stuff, you don't have to do them for them to
Yeah.
really make sense. So you can just slide them and focus on the most important stuff. And that is where priority comes in. When a person has a kind of scale of preference, priority, the way you want to, follow through your day, it makes it easier to manage your time effectively. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this only happen when you get up from bed every morning and you know exactly the few major things. It may not be
Yeah.
all the major things, but the few major things you want to achieve for the day. It makes your day productive.
Sure.
Yeah. So instead of just launching into a brand new day without having a target for the day, you just notice the day will just go anyhow, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I
Yeah.
just I just wanted to give this preview, just a kind of preamble on what you said. So you can write on ma, and I love that. There are a whole lot of value in there, and I want our audience to understand the time quadrants and metrics. That's the four of them. That's why I had to give that highlight. So write on ma.
All right. Now that we've established that there are ways to classify your tasks, we can probably talk about the things that get in the way of effective time management. Because I mean, you have to know those things and you have to stay away from them. Now, the very first thing that can get in the way of effective time management is when your goals are unclear. Unclear goals, unclear tasks, unclear objectives, right? Clarity is very important when you're setting a goal, when you want to allocate time to a particular task. It's not okay to say, okay, I want to write at so and so time, right? You have to be clear. How many words? How long am I supposed to write? Right? How long is my writing supposed to be? What is the length of words? How many pages? You have to be very clear. And for how long am I going to be writing? In fact, what topic am I going to write about? You have to be very clear on what you want to do, because lack of clarity gives room for slacking. You may slack and feel like it's justifiable when you're not even sure
That's
what you want to do, when you do not, you're not very specific about your goals or about a particular task that you want to do, it may give room for laziness, or it may give room for slacking. You may slack. So it's important that
yes.
your objectives are clear. So unclear objective is one obstacle to effective time management. Another obstacle to effective time management is when you overload your schedule. It is true you have to do many things and you have to allocate time, but you have to be realistic with the time.
Yes.
You have to be realistic with the time you set for every goal. You are not superhuman. So you have to be sure that this time is enough for this task. Don't overload your schedule. Don't put 100 things in one day because you feel that, okay, I'm managing my time. I should be able to finish a week's work in one day. You are human, for crying out loud. So overdoing your schedule is detrimental to you because it's going to increase your stress levels. You're going to end up not achieving a lot of things that day because there is so much in your timetable, right? So another obstacle to effective time management is overloaded schedule. Another one is failure to prioritize. There are tasks that's why I had to talk about the time metrics, the time management metrics first,
Just
because
hold
there
on
are
a
things
bit.
that, okay.
Yeah, the first one you talked about clear definition of purpose. Then the second one, I want you to give a kind of preview on the second one.
Okay, the second obstacle to effective time management is overloaded schedule. Overloading your
Overloaded.
schedule with a yes, with a lot of activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So clarity in purpose, overloaded schedule. I just want to
No,
bring these two together. That's why I wanted you to, give a highlight on this.
okay.
There, there
Maybe I should
is,
back up a little. I was talking about
there is,
obstacles to effective time
yes,
management,
time
right? And
management.
I said the first one is lack of lack of clear objectives or lack of clear tasks, lack of clarity in writing down your tasks, right? Unclear
Yes,
objectives. That's the first one. And then the second one is overloaded schedule. When you pack so many things into so little time, you're going to end up not doing them. And so you're not going to be effective. You're not going to manage your time effectively. And then
yeah,
moving on to the third one is failure to prioritize. And I said that was why I talked about the time management metrics first, in order to help us understand how to prioritize our tasks, right? So failure to prioritize, failure to group in tasks where they should be is also an obstacle to effective time management, because you find that you're spending time doing the less relevant things when you can spend that time doing more important things. So that's another obstacle to effective time management. One other obstacle to effective time management is not knowing how to say no. A lot of us don't know how to say no. We always want to do things, we always want to be there for other people. No is a complete sentence. Say no to some things, say no to some people. It's okay to say
that's
no.
true.
You're not It's okay to say no. Some things
The
do
most,
not
the most
actually
powerful
require
thing
your
one,
attention.
the most
Yes,
powerful
go.
thing one will ever learn is the ability to say no.
Sure.
You need to learn to say no because these have
Yeah.
actually ruined a whole lot of life, a whole lot of purpose, a whole lot of vision. Simply because maybe you want to do something and someone says otherwise of what you want to do, and instead of
Yeah.
sticking to your plan, you just give a yes. And the moment you do that, it automatically, you know, spoils the whole stuff. So learning to say no, when to say no is very important. And you talked about clarity of purpose. It is very, very important. Then you talked about overloaded schedules. There's this saying, jack of all trade, master of none. And this is where it comes in. When you want to achieve a whole lot of things at the same time, but you end up achieving nothing simply because your schedules they are too bogus. It's
Yeah.
too large. So you need to narrow. When we talk about purpose, business, there's something called niche. You have to niche down because when you don't do that, it becomes a problem along the line because you are talking about so many things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like myself, I had that conflicting, ideas. Being that you want to do so many things, you want
At the
to
same
achieve so
time.
many things, but at the same time, you can't do that. When you try to do that, it's going to conflict and you end up achieving nothing.
Yeah.
So, in terms of being a professional in an area, one have to niche down, niche down. My coach always says something. You have to niche down to reach wide. You have to niche down to reach wide. What does that mean? When you take down what you want to do to a particular thing and people know you for a particular thing, it becomes easier for you to reach out to the particular people you are sent for, and you are known for a particular thing. So when you now want to, begin to spread and, have other things you are engaged in, it becomes easier because you have already established your influence on a particular area.
Yeah.
So having overloaded schedule is a very big problem. And the problem is a general problem. Everyone has it. Until you come to a point of clarity of purpose, you will have the issue of overloaded schedule, because you notice at certain stage in your life you want to achieve so many things. You just want to be this great person, want to be this successful person, and it leaves you with a whole lot of big ideas, and you just know you wish to do this, you wish to do that, you and not until you start focusing on a particular thing per time, you won't be productive. So it's a general stuff. It's a general stuff. And like myself, talking about the area of purpose, I had to kneel down, say, okay, I'm just going to focus on talking about purpose and business growth strategies. So when someone talks about what did this guy do, who is Michael Kevin, someone who've come across the stuff I do can easily say it. Ah, the guy is a growth strategist. The guy is a business growth strategist, and it makes it easier that way. It makes it easier that way. It makes one
Yeah.
become more productive that way. So I just had to make a kind of, throw more highlights on this because there's a whole lot of value in there. So you can ride on to the next one.
Okay, another obstacle that gets in the way of effective time management is lack of organization. If you want to effectively manage your time, you have to be an organized person. If you say, okay, I want to read this book, I want to read that book, and then when it's time, you don't even know where the book is. Probably you spend half of the time looking for where it is because you don't know where you flung it to. You just don't know where it's, an organized person would be an effective time manager. You need to be organized. You need to know where everything is at every point in your space. You need to be organized because being organized makes you more prepared to manage your time more. When it's time to do something, you know where everything is at that point, so you can easily reach out, right? So lack of organization is a very big obstacle to effective time management because you're going to spend a huge chunk of your time trying to get things organized to even start doing what you want to do, and that eats into your
That's
time. So that's another very important point. And another point, probably the final point I'm going to make regarding obstacles to effective time management, is distractions and idle time. I mean, it defeats the aim of effective time management. It defeats it totally because why are you idle and why are you the aim is to be productive, right? So what are you
yeah,
doing? Why are you not doing anything with your time, right? So that's that. And distractions. I mentioned probably indulging yourself to watch just one video online. I mentioned it because I don't say I'm a victim. I'm not a victim, but I'm on that table that I'm shaking, right? Because I know that when I say just one TikTok video now, just one Instagram reel, just
before you know,
it's
you've
never
done
just
tweets.
one. It is never just one. I have never stuck to one. I have
Yeah,
never. So when I start having such thoughts, when I start feeling like that, I know it's a trap. I know it's a
yeah, it's
trap. So as much as possible, your distractions most of the time. You have to like cut down on them, right? There are people that when they want to do some important work, it's just that these days everything is digital. You may need your phone for 80 to 90% of your tasks. Like I do. Most of my day's activities somehow revolve around my device, right? Because mostly it's online stuff. But
yes,
if for instance you can do away with your phone without it affecting your productivity, you can do that. There are people that when they want to work, they keep their phone far away because I mean they make access to the phone harder, such that it will be difficult to get to the phone, and that way they cut down that distraction. They cut down the temptation of reaching for that phone and just saying, okay, let me just see one thing, let me just reply to one message, let me just people of God, you will fall into the trap. I'm saying this from experience, right? from take it from somebody who falls into the trap virtually every time, so it's because the thing about watching these things online or indulging these distractions is that it makes you feel a certain kind of way, and you just want to keep scrolling, you just want to keep watching, so
Yes.
as much as possible, cut down on distractions. Those things that are triggers for you. You have to avoid them as much as possible. You have to take them away, probably from your sight, so you don't have to keep seeing them, right? So these few points that I've mentioned, I don't know if I can remember them clearly to go over them, but I remember the first thing that I mentioned was lack of clear objectives as the first obstacle to effective time management. And then the second thing I
Yes.
mentioned was overloaded schedule. The third thing I mentioned was failure to prioritize, right? The fourth thing I mentioned was
Yes.
lack of organization, not organizing your things and knowing where they are, knowing where things stand in your life even. And another thing also, I think that's the final point I mentioned. Yeah, that's um distractions and idle time. So
Wow.
these are obstacles. So now that we know the obstacles to effective time management, it's going to help us to know how to effectively manage time. So now I'm about to give tips. I'm actually ending now. So these are tips that will help you effectively manage your time. Now that we've seen the
Okay.
obstacles, the
Before
tips
you
are just
do
like the
that,
opposite this time around. Can
before
you hear
you go
me?
into that, yes, I can hear you. So, but
All
before
right.
you go into that, I really want to say there's a whole lot of value in there. And quickly, I want you viewing from wherever you're watching from to let us know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions so far, drop on the comment section. Drop on the comment section whatever your question is, so we'll quickly attend to that. Okay? Let's have your questions and let me know where you're watching from. So, so far, we've been able to establish a whole lot of powerful tips and important areas that lingers with regards time management that cause
Yeah.
that's a problem rather, or that is a disadvantage, or that can be a problem in quotes. So, and the first thing I just want to make a kind of recap to establish this. We talked about, if I really understood, I was following you, and the first thing I figured out, you said figure out how you currently spending your time, how you are currently spending your time. I want to put it in my own word now. How a person spend his time is very, very important. Like you spend your day. The question you need to ask yourself is, what were the things I did today? What were the things I was able to achieve today? When you give these answers to
Yeah.
yourself, it helps you to understand if you were really effective during the day, or if your day was truly productive. But if you're this person that just do your day and you retire to bed without getting to check how your day went, it becomes a problem to, find out time to figure out how your day, how effective or productive your day really was. And in order to know how your day went and how you're spending your time, also get up every morning having some major things you want to achieve for the day. It's very important. Then number two, create a daily schedule and stick with it. We have this problem of people creating schedules for the day and end up not fulfilling even one of it. It's a major problem. It's a major problem. Sometimes I do face that. I mustn't say I don't face that as well. Most times you wake up in the morning, you prioritize how you want your day to be. I'm going to do ABC. And you find out you struggle with some of the things you listed there, like doing them because of
Yeah.
series of distraction that will come cut across you on the course of your day. But the
Yeah.
thing is, having the schedule helps to channel your focus. When you know you have a schedule of priority, Okay, this is the thing I want to do by 10 a.m. And by 2 p.m., I want to be doing this. By 4 p.m., I want to be here. It helps you to know where and what you should do part time on that faithful day. Then, number three, prioritize wisely. When you're making up your mind to know what you want to do for the day, you have to be wise and smart about your priorities. Put the things that are really of much importance and benefit first.
Yeah.
And when you are doing this, the fourth thing I would like to mention here is you have to group similar tasks together. There are some things you want to do on the day and you notice they look alike. They are going on the same direction. So you just need to group them. Instead of wanting to do them differently, just do them together to avoid having a bulky schedule. Then five, avoid the urge to multitask. Although there's one thing I have learned over time. Ladies, women have natural ability to multitask. Yeah, it's true. Ladies have natural abilities to multitask, and it's not so with guys. The guy is designed to function on
Yeah.
focus. When a guy is focused on a particular thing, he goes all out. But a woman can do different things at the same time and still be productive. I'm talking about the nature, something I've observed that is real, it's ideal that way. So, in order not to get disorganized during the day, avoid multitasking because it will end up, most times, it may not end up being favorable. Then, the sixth thing I'm mentioning here is assign time limit to task, to goals, to targets. Let there be deadline, let there be target. It helps you to know when you ought to achieve a particular thing. So when you do that, the first thing it's going to help you do is it helps you keep your focus intact because you know by December the 1st, I should accomplish this. So it keeps your focus intact.
Yeah.
So the next thing I'm mentioning here is learn to say no. That's a powerful angle where you came from because
Yeah.
many persons do not know how to say no. They are always into the yes. Whatever comes along, they just say, "Oh yes, no problem." They are ready for just to move on to do anything that comes along, but it doesn't make sense that way. Saying no most times could be the most powerful thing you would do for yourself. Yeah, because you notice there are things that are distraction, and your ability to say no to them will actually help to keep your focus intact and help you manage your time effectively. Then the next point is get organized. One needs to organize himself, organize schedule, organize whatever you're doing. Then the last thing you made mention of the angle you came from is eliminate distraction. Distraction is one thing that keeps many persons down. You want to do A, this is your focus, A is your focus, but B is calling you, and you are shifting your focus from A to B simply because B looks like a good opportunity. It looks like something nice.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it is not part of your priority. When you do that, you notice you've shifted your focus from your key priority, your major priority, to something that is a distraction. And this also happens
Yeah.
in terms of, in the area of seeking for job, doing some business. When a person knows the exact kind of business he or she wants to do, it helps you to avoid or eliminate distraction that comes from doing several other good businesses or accepting job opportunities. Yeah, this is a job opportunity, yeah, but you know you don't want to do this kind of job. Some
Yeah.
job opportunities are absolute distraction. You say yes to them and they'll distract you for the rest of your life. You can't focus on the major thing because you said yes to something you think it's a good opportunity. So I think I'll have to rest it here. And I just have to share this because there are a whole lot of value in the light you've shared. And I caught these areas and it's really important we know this. So write down real quick. So it's good to
There's
have you
nothing
live.
more to
Here's a
say, Michael.
Joseph. Here's a Joseph. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining. Okay.
Can I go on now?
Yeah, write down now.
Okay, Michael, you've basically said everything I want to say. I mean, you just took the words right out of my mouth because I was going to say, I was going to give a few tips on how to manage time, and you basically just you have said everything. So there's nothing more to add. I mean, you mentioned writing down, your tasks ahead of time. A lot of us just want to, we know the things in our head. Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. But there's something about writing down something. It makes you more responsible to do that thing, right? And it
Yes.
imprints it more on you, on your consciousness, that this has to be done when you actually write it down. So that's why that is important.
That's
Another
true.
thing that I would have mentioned, but you already did, is clarity. You have to be very clear on the things that you want to do, how long you want to do them, what exactly. Don't be vague about anything, right? So you have to be really specific with your goals or with the tasks that you want to do every day, right? Another thing that you mentioned is learning to say no. You already mentioned that it's really important to say no. Like I said before, no is a complete sentence. Just say no. I cannot do this one. You don't have to be everywhere.
That's
You can't be
powerful.
everywhere. You are not superhuman, right?
Hmm.
Another thing also that you mentioned is organization. It's really really important. Now, what I'm going to add extra to everything you already said, because what you said was what I would have mentioned, right? What I'm going to add is we need to understand that I mean that obstacles are normal, or I don't know how else to put this, right? Don't expect that everything is going to go smoothly from the beginning of your day to the end. Maybe doing a particular
That's
task, and then you kind of meet a, should I say, a roadblock, or you kind of just meet an obstacle at that point in time to what you're doing. It could be that you're trying to do a task, and then you realize that something has gone wrong, and all of that and all of that, and then it kind of demoralizes you, right? Just because of a little obstacle that you faced. Understand that obstacles are part of life, right? It shouldn't demoralize you on trying to achieving what you already set out to achieve. So when you take note of this, it's going to help you a lot, such that when you face such obstacles in achieving your daily tasks and objectives and goals, you'll be able to handle them well, right? That's one very important point that I want to
that's
mention.
amazing.
Another thing also is to take breaks. Effective time management does not mean you should kill yourself with work. It doesn't mean that at every point, at every hour of every day, you just have to be working. You just have to be doing something. Put breaks in your time management schedule. Just say from this time to this time, I'm taking a break, I'm resting, I'm doing something else. Because you are
All
not,
work
like I
and
said
no
before,
play
you're not
makes
superhuman. You are going to break down. So it's important to, take breaks at intervals, because breaks will help you be replenished, and then you'll be better able to perform your tasks, without
That's true.
distractions. Because at
That's
a point, you begin to feel down, especially when you're busy and you're busy and you're busy, there's no time to rest. You're not going to be productive. So those breaks will help you, calm down, and then you'll be able to do better by the time you come back to what you're doing. But the thing with breaks also is that it requires discipline. When you say you will come back, please come back by that time. Come back and continue with your duties, right? Okay, so that's an extra thing that I want to add to what you said. And I believe that basically, if you put these things into practice, you know when to say no, you write your tasks ahead of time, you're very clear with your objectives, you are organized. If you put these things into practice, I bet your life will not remain the same. Take it from me.
whoa,
I'm
that's
telling you.
amazing.
So I think that's it basically. I don't think that I have anything else in mind to add.
Okay. Wow. I really want to appreciate you for this values.
Yeah.
This is whole lot of value here, and I you've actually imparted me. Actually, I learned say, a lot of stuff from this session, and I know same applicable to our audience. So I
Yeah.
want to get your questions on the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from and whatever question you have, drop it right there so we can attend to it. We can attend to it. So tonight we talked about effective time management in every individual's life, in every business. Time management is key, is key, is key. There will never be productivity if time management is not in place. So,
Yeah.
in order to be productive and become more efficient, you have to and you must manage your time effectively. You have to manage your time effectively. So then Leslie, she said, this was great. Beautiful job, guys. Oh, thanks for that. If you have any question, we want to see questions right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So, and something else I want to share. There are three key things I will never stop sharing. These three key things, if you check my videos on YouTube, you'll see them. And for those of you viewing here, I want you to click on the link on the comment section on Facebook. It will take you direct to the YouTube channel so you can subscribe. There are these three key things is direction, no, sorry, target goals, direction paths, community association. They are two in one. The first one is your targets and your goals. The second one is the direction and the path. The third one is what? Association and community. Why do I keep talking about this? Because we are on a journey to raise purpose driven youth. And that is the reason for this. We're on a journey to raise business leaders, people who understand what it entails to implement the principles in business. Yes, everything in life demands is ruled by principles, and when the principle is obeyed, results will be achieved. So why did I mention these three things? You need to know your goals and targets, prioritize them. When your goals and targets is known, you get to the second point, direction and the path you ought to take. It helps you follow through the right direction, and it helps you save the stress of time, wasting time. And the third thing is community
Yeah.
and association. Everyone out there, you need to know the community of people or the kind of association that will help you become productive or manage your time effectively. You can't do life in the circle of those who are outside the track you've chosen for your life and destiny because they will just waste your time. You can't be in a relationship that isn't helping you become productive. You just realize you are wasting your time and wasting your life. So I think it's time to say no to that. Chioma Juliet here talked about the power of saying no, and I want you to take that tonight. If this is the only thing you want to get from tonight's event, learn to say no. Say no to the wrong companies, to the people who you know they are not adding to your life. Say no to wrong relationships, especially to my fellow guys. Don't get started relationship or the ladies on social media who you know they are literally adding nothing to you and they just want to take your time. Every lady out there need attention. And once they find a guy who's ready to give in the attention, they
Michael,
waste your
it
time.
goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Side, I'm focusing on the men because the men really need to fulfill purpose.
Well, so do women.
You want us to argue on this? I
No, we're
my
not
guys
arguing
first. My
though.
guys.
What is good for the goose is good for the gander. So I mean,
I see that. I see that. Okay, no problem. You win. I submit. You win. I rest my case. You win. So both the she said both the guys and the ladies, You need to manage your time effectively. Manage your time. Don't waste time on things you know will not add value to your purpose, to your goals, to
Yeah.
your dreams, to your vision. And yeah, if you know you want to be productive, that yeah, you really have to do this. You know you want
Yeah.
to be a purpose-driven person, you have to follow through this. And my vision is simple: is to raise purpose-driven youth and
I want to
entrepreneurs.
add
So
something quickly, Michael.
you are free. The
Yes,
platform is yours.
yeah, just one quick point. We're always talking about achieving goals, achieving this, and maybe when you achieve one, it's on to the next goal, on to the next this, and we forget that we can actually feel good and reward ourselves. So sometimes it's good to reward yourself when you achieve a certain milestone, when you achieve your goals for a
Wow.
set period of time, right? You can just say, okay, let me just treat myself to, I don't know, something. But the
Yeah.
goal there is just to do it and go back to your goals, right? So I mean, aside taking breaks, you can just reward yourself with something. They call it delayed
You are talking about
gratification,
self
right?
treat
When
here.
when you
As
achieve
yeah.
something, then you reward yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're talking about self treats. That's giving oneself good self treats, right? Yes.
Yeah.
It's very important. It's very important. And the key thing
So
about
that's
self
just
treats is
one more point.
the thing is, in as much as we do life journey, as you keep doing life journey, you know, a lot of people want, there's this mindset that people have. People always have this mindset: I'm going to be happy or celebrate or appreciate myself when I get to the end of the journey. But it's a no to that. It's a big no to that. The goal is you have to celebrate all along. You have to reward yourself all along. You
Yeah.
have to celebrate and appreciate every milestone you achieve per time, because this is really going to
Yeah.
energize you to want to do more. Most time, just take yourself on a
Oh,
date. Most time, just get yourself some gift. Those things you want people to do for you, the way you want people to appreciate you, treat yourself that way. Appreciate yourself that way. Reward yourself that way when you do stuff
even
and
if you don't
achieve
have
stuff.
money, Michael, calm down. You have mentioned dates and you have mentioned gifts. So all that don't
Okay.
have money, just mention
Ah,
there are things you can do that doesn't have to involve money. Me, for
yes. Okay. So
instance, maybe when I want to see a movie, I just leave it. I just leave it to some point. When I'm done with some days activities or when I'm done with some tasks in my schedule. So the movie becomes a reward for me because I can't watch the movie when I should be working on important things, right? So when I clear those important things off my
yes.
schedule, I'm like, okay, yeah, I give myself a pat on the back with the movie. I don't have to buy myself a gift to Michael.
But that's really important. That's really
Can you
important.
hear me?
See, the kind of gift I'm talking about, it mustn't be something real expensive. You can just get yourself, stuff you need to feel
That's true.
happy. Most
Yeah,
time you can just go to
yeah.
an eatery, eat some good chicken, just have some good chicken. You can just go get yourself a chill
But if you don't
drink.
have money, you can still treat yourself to something nice.
Why would
Let
you
me
have
just say
money
it
for
for those that
some
will
good
say,
chicken? Just get some
I'm just
chill
saying.
drink. You know your brand.
I'm just
Okay,
saying.
Diana Leslie said food works. Yeah, food works. She's giving an example of the
Exactly.
things you can just okay, so you can just
Exactly.
go get
Food
some good
was
dish. Yeah, eat something nice. So you guys can also comment, drop on the comment section the kind of good traits, stuff just simple stuff that could serve as good traits, so that those watching can equally grab from there. And as you do your life journey, celebrate all
yeah.
along. Don't
Yeah.
keep your happiness till you achieve the major success. You don't have to do that. So every bit of the milestone you achieve, celebrate it. Appreciate God for it. Reward yourself for it. And be ready to keep up with doing that. And there's something about, I just want to bring this in. God reward people with grateful hearts. People who have this attitude of gratitude. When you have the attitude of gratitude, you will always receive.
Okay.
Yes, it's the law of nature. Like you're grateful to God for the stuffs you may tag little stuffs, but you are grateful for them.
Yeah.
You count your blessings, you count the things you have achieved, you name them one by one, and you are just grateful, you are thankful. Yes. The same thing applicable to destiny helpers. When you appreciate someone for the little stuff they did, they will feel more happy next time they want to do more for you. The same thing with your parents. Your parents pay your bills, they sponsor your education, pay your school fees, you appreciate them, they get you gifts, you appreciate them. They'll feel happy each time they want to do stuff for you because they know you are always grateful. But if you are this child of a father who would buy you a cell phone and you can't even say, Daddy, thank you, tomorrow he won't be he won't feel excited doing more for you because you are ungrateful. You're ungrateful. So you need to be grateful to those around you, to your environment, be grateful to yourself, and be grateful for every milestone, every achievement. Be grateful. Manage your time, and I believe you become more productive. And I wish you well in your endeavor, in your business, and whatever you're doing. This is more like a prayer. Go and succeed. Manage your time effectively. So, at this juncture, thank you so much, Ma, for being part of this show. And I'm really grateful to have you. So, this brings us to end of tonight's events. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, do have a lovely night rest, and we hope to have you again on this channel.
Sure.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Catch you on the next episode. Bye bye.